Hi friends, welcome back. I'm here with another video and yes, this time it is about a movie again, and yeah, a regional movie as well. At the very outset, I would like to make it clear, I am not a film critic. I am just somebody who admires the art. So you will not be seeing me on every Friday when a film releases, and I'm not in that race, honestly. I'm here only to appreciate the craft and the effort and share my thoughts with you. So the name of today's movie is excuse me. No, it's not that. Okay, the name of today's movie is
చూడప్ప సిద్ధప్ప, నేను మాట చెప్తాను. పనికొస్తే ఏడనే వాడుకో, గుర్తుకొస్తే ఏడనైనా వాడుకో.
No, that's not it. Give me a break. Okay, so today's movie is Narappa. Not again. Come on. It is none of those. It is Narappa, starring Venkatesh and Priyamani. Through the entire film, I could nowhere see the star Venkatesh. That's because the actor completely takes over. And in fact, at a certain point, I even forgot that it's Venkatesh. I could only see Narappa. I think that itself is an accomplishment. The film is set in the early 80s in rural Andhra Pradesh, somewhere near Tirupati and Chittor districts. The film for me essentially is a story about a familial bond and to what extent a father can go to save his family. It's all about loving your family, you know. Of course, not K3G style, where everyone's dressed in Armani, Versace clothing and having lavish Karwa Chauth parties, you know. Now, this isn't that kind of a film. There are multiple scenes in the film that enthrall us by the actor's commitment to the role and his complete submission to the character of Narappa. A great American actor and acting teacher from the early 1900s, Sanford Meisner, once said, acting is behaving truthfully under imaginary circumstances. In one heart-wrenching scene where Venkatesh falls on the feet of everyone in the village just to get his son out of the police lockup, and when his son comes back home after being beaten up black and blue by the cops, Narappa has already sunk himself in shame and alcohol, of course, but he still manages to get up to speak to his son and to express his relief that his son is back alive, and throws up as he's doing that, which symbolizes the pathos he's been through, and also feels a sense of relief, thinking that the worst is over. It often amuses me that how screenwriters and filmmakers go to such dark places of the human mind to understand the suffering and pain and plight of the human condition. That they could give us such moments which connect us to the characters on screen and make us feel great empathy and even sympathy sometimes. I think this is one of the greatest qualities of the art of cinema. And when you go deeper, you also see that there is this whole rich-poor divide, the upper caste, lower caste discrimination. Also, it touches upon how anger and impulsiveness can lead to repercussions and irreversible consequences. Sadly, the things about economic inequality, the caste system are not a thing of past. They still exist in many parts of our country, and to my surprise, even in many parts of the world which are fairly developed. I think it's just a universal flaw that we all humans possess. The film opens right into the middle of things while Narappa and his son Sinappa are walking through water in a dense forest, and Narappa asks his son Sinappa to walk a little faster. Sinappa simply says that he's carrying bombs in his bag, which his mom packed along with some food on the go. Of course, you don't need it now, as Swiggy will help you do it with his genie or whatever that is. I'm kidding, guys. Don't take it seriously. And Priyamani seems to be having a ball these days, as she is excellent as a strong working woman. And of course, the anger issues which are genetically passed on to the sons, which act as the main trigger for the whole conflict to begin at the first place. From here, the story moves through various plot points as to how the family escapes and endures the situations thrown at them. Here are some key scenes and moments in the film that define the narrative. Narappa saying about Pandusami's people picturing them as thieves, even when Narappa's son actually killed Pandusami's son, not just for revenge, it was for respect. And in another scene where Narappa is totally broken, when Sinappa says, "You should have died instead of my brother." So natural for a teenage kid to speak like that in that situation. And given Narappa comes across as a lousy, good-for-nothing drunkard. There's also a little flashback about Venkatesh being a hothead and the whole Nassar episode where the guy Narappa helps backstabs him. This again is a trigger scene for Narappa's realization. The lower castes are not even allowed to wear footwear, and Narappa's niece is made to walk all around the village with footwear on her head and is beaten black and blue again, and like always, people are just enjoying the show. And to Narappa's surprise, his employer doesn't take his side when he was expecting the most. In a scene where Narappa is full of rage and has come to avenge the loss of his people, Narappa cuts Sina's hand in Shaukar's house and kills many, including Shaukar himself. And the camera is just kept still for a good length of time in a wide long shot, giving us a peek into how a simpleton turns rebellious when put through such horror. Here is where it gets too bloody and violent. Of course, we all do know Vetrimaaran's fascination for bloodshed and violence. I'm not saying he does it without a reason, just for the heck of it. No, there's a good substantial storyline and the depth in the story which requires bloodshed or the violence which he shows on screen, without which the realism he wants to convey would be missing. I generally find it very hard to sit through a violent and a bloody scene in a movie, but seems relatively essential and justified when a story like this, which is deeply rooted in prejudice and discrimination, is being told. Hence a small disclaimer here. Though the film is very well crafted and acted, it is not an easy watch in any way for people who are just looking for popcorn entertainment. The film ends with Narappa going to jail instead of his son, which sticks to the central theme of the film, which is how far or to what extent a father can go to save his family. He also makes it a point to tell his son not to waste his time and energy on taking revenge. Instead, focus on his education and get a designation of power where he can make a difference to the downtrodden. And most importantly, he emphasizes not to misuse his designation and power that comes with it. That pretty much sums up the entire canvas of the film and what the director is trying to convey here. The Telugu film is of course not directed by Vetrimaaran himself. It is directed by Srikanth Addala. I think he's done a very good and an honest job to bring the nativity and the originality of, and also keeping up the soul of the film. So that was Narappa. Do watch it. It's a film which says a lot of things. So let me know what you've thought about what I thought about the film, and do comment and do subscribe if you like my content. See you soon. Bye bye.